Keith. Sit down, gentlemen.
That's it.
You're all right, Steve? You got your mic?
Very good.
Mike, can you give us a
Hello.
working beautiful. You got that, Keith? Nice. Anyway, I'd just like to say what a superb first Saturday evening. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Superb. Well done. Thank you. What I think is really interesting is, you haven't got bass and drums tonight. There's just the three of you on guitar, but you don't really miss the bass and drums, do you? You've got this sound which is, there's lots of space in it, but you can hear every instrument. How have you sort of developed that sound over the years?
What, just the three of us? How we did?
Oh yeah, because I think we've been together as a three-piece for longer than you have a five-piece.
Yeah, we kind of started out as a three-piece, that we're doing touring with Market Man, and we did some gigs with a guy called Robin Ford, and we used a loop pedal, and that was our thing for a while. And then
you had a guitar, you had a pickup on the guitar that was effectively a synthesizer.
That's right.
You could kind of create keyboard sounds and things.
That's right, through a GR55 rolling pedal. So you get bass lines and do bass lines and string, do whatever you want really. Yeah, it's like a synthesizer.
And the unsung hero of the band, I think, Stu, you do the rhythm guitar. People don't always necessarily see you do the histrionics. These two are showing off, battling to see who can be the centre of attention. And you're in there making it all work. And without you, they're nothing. You know that, don't you?
And the driving, all the driving.
All driving.
Most of it, 99%.
You drive the van as well.
Yeah.
That's very
They're always drunk, you see.
But it is interesting. You've got effectively two lead guitarists. How do you prevent it sounding like a complete dog's breakfast?
I don't know. How do we do that? I don't know.
I probably did it, but I think we're both very different players, and we've got similar influences, but then we've got quite varied influences as well, and we play quite differently, and we have different sounds. So I think it's about listening and trying to interweave the parts, but also I don't think we would sound the same because our kind of influence is quite different.
But if you're both doing it at the same time, it kind of cancels each other out. But what you do is you sort of like leave space for one another in the track, don't you?
Yeah, we don't solo at the same time now. Yeah.
Okay, I think you're right now. Solo at the same time. That's interesting. Now, I don't know if everybody knows, but Keith and Stu, you're brothers, and Mike, you're not a brother. I think you may have a brother. I don't mean, he hasn't got...
You've got a sister.
You've got a sister. Oh, lovely. But we all know what an absolute disaster it is being in a band with brothers. I mean, Police, The Crowded House, Dire Straits, The Kinks, it's just a nightmare for everybody else, isn't it? It's bickering, fighting. There's things that go back years that you'll never know about. That it's passive aggressive. It's oppressive. How do you cope with it?
It's just headphones on.
Noise cancelling headphones in the car usually.
Mike sits in the front actually, swears off.
Yeah.
We are the middle class characters. We argue about esoteric ideas and olives. That's
ideas you can
olives better than
Who likes olives? Who doesn't like olives?
We all like olives.
Stuff for a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
One of the conversations we had was
free will.
Is that free will? He put me on. He bought me a book by Sapolsky about how there isn't free will. There's no such thing as free will. Because everything is predetermined.
Who did Mike?
It's turtles all the way down.
You see, this is an ongoing argument after every gig. We'll have like a 4-hour argument where I say there is free will, so there's no free will.
And I said, no, there's no free will.
He said, you've got no free will.
It's not joking, it's literally 3 hours.
Look, just reach out to someone. It's a good argument. Nobody knows what you're going through. Well, we've got an insight into it. The other thing, they also go out as a 5-piece with a bassist and a drummer, who are also brothers. Is that right?
Oh, no, they were. They're not there anymore.
They were brothers and not anymore. They got divorced.
Yeah. They got sacked. No, they went on
You're
still.
talking about Adam and Joel. The original lineup was Adam and Joel Goldberg on drums and bass, but after the pandemic they left, and they're doing their own thing. They're doing this classic double.
Classic double, yeah.
But we've got a guy called Sam on bass and Will on drums. So.
Very good.
What are they in the house? Where are they tonight? What are they doing?
They are, I think they're gigging, aren't they? I think they're gigging somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, different bands.
Really?
Better pay gig.
You're getting paid? Gosh. Okay. Now, Keith, I wanted to talk to you about when you came to learn the guitar in the first place. You'd had some sort of traumatic accident.
Yeah.
And you managed to sort of get through this by learning how to play the guitar. Tell us about that.
It became like a therapy. Yeah, I jumped over a fence to get a football. We were playing
It was
football.
actually really funny to watch.
It was funny, yeah.
It was all of us, because there's 5 brothers.
They all came over laughing at that.
Yeah, so there were the 2 older brothers there, and when he fell, it was fucking hilarious. But
It did look funny.
it turned dark quick.
But it was really painful, yeah. And then I kind of
Stop moaning.
Yeah, stop moaning. It's not that bad. Yeah, so I impaled myself on the fence post. Obviously, they knew that I was dying when they came over. They could see that the colour drained out of my face, and and then I lost.
When they stopped laughing?
They stopped laughing, man. Yeah.
That's what was after. He got to hospital. No, it became serious very quick. Yeah, initially when he fell, it was funny, but then it wasn't.
No. I couldn't breathe. I collapsed my lungs, ruptured my spleen, lost loads of blood, pints of blood.
Yeah, okay, I think we get the picture now.
So,
I'm a bit queasy now. I didn't really want all that detail with you. Anyway, but it was horrible.
It was bad,
Let's just say that.
And then, just my recovery was just guitar, really, because I couldn't do much else.
And then this, you were in the Shropshire Star, you grew up in Shropshire, and some complete stranger contacted you and offered to teach you.
Yeah, he offered to come on his Ducati bike and teach me guitar, and introduce me to Robin Ford, which is one of my favourite guitarists now, and Stevie Ray Vaughan, and some other great, the Hamsters, they were quite good as well. Doing all the Hendrixy type stuff, So I went to see that, but he really inspired me.
So he came over. Did you pay him?
No, he didn't ever want any money. No, he was really nice fella.
That's very nice. And Steve, what about you? You were learning guitar at the same time, but you already learned it. You were a bit older than Keith.
We bought our first guitar. There was a school fair the school went to, and we saw the guitar on the stand, and I said to the guy, how much is it? And 15 quid. He said, if I haven't sold it by the end of the day, you can have it. So we took this guitar back, and we used to just get feedback and like pluck the string.
We plugged it into the hi-fi.
Yeah, we plugged it into this hi-fi. So that was the first thing we did, and we didn't really know how to play it. And then I got into bands and started playing a bit, and Keith picked up and took off within months, and was,
I mean, Keith, you've only got one hand, which obviously hasn't. Yes. No, I just noticed. You probably knew that already, but I mean, I play a bit of guitar, and I've got 2 hands. It's quite hard to learn how to play guitar, and it must be incredibly difficult for you to, even the most simple things must have been more difficult for you. How did you kind of stick with it?
I think I was just obsessed with it. I think I just fell in love with it. I was always in love with guitar from a young age, but the minute I saw a guitar, I want to play guitar, but it was just, where there's a will, there's a way, isn't it? I just persevered with it and just didn't give up, and I just became more and more obsessed.
He used to put on his clothes and then put the guitar on, and I'd be watching the film, he'd come in with the guitar and I'd go, don't play the guitar. And he'd start playing really quietly. And I go, I can hear it, and he goes, I'm not even playing that loud.
You used to get annoyed when I used to get ready, didn't I?
I used to get ready, I go, you get your hook ready.
Get ready.
Off the guitar.
Played on the toilet and everything.
Oh, yeah. I think you probably had to be that upset. But and has that sort of like pushed you down the road of becoming a lead player? Because rhythm, it's all about the right hand. Isn't it? So
the lack of wrist makes it quite difficult. But I can take my arm off and do some stomp funk. I can stomp funk.
Stomp funk in genre.
Danny show later.
A little side project for you there, the Stomp Funk album. But yeah, so anyway, so you grew up in Shropshire, and then it was when you came to Liverpool that you met Mike, and the whole thing kind of started when you formed the band.
Yeah, we lived right by Mike, and Stu and I moved in together, and that's when we started the whole Xanders the Peace Pirates thing. Started off as Xanders the Smoke Pockets.
What was the thinking behind Smoke Pockets?
We were just smoking a lot of weed around that time. And one night we were stoned, and then I got a bit of smoke caught on my lung, I think. But we weren't even
That's where smoke goes when you smoke.
Yeah.
Goes into the lungs.
Yeah, he thought he was stoned. No, he was paranoid. He was stoned. He thought he was stuck in his
Well,
like, hours.
I think I
He
heard
had a small pocket.
And I said, I think I burnt and a bit of smoke came up.
Oh,
that must have been a smoke pocket.
So many other things could have come out of that experience. And then you went down the pirate thing route because of
This
the
is
hook.
just because of the hook, and we were into peace and love. And
Okay, pirates aren't really into peace and love. That's the opposite of what they're into, isn't it?
Yeah, we thought
They were the Robin Hoods of the sea. They used to rob off the rich kids of the poor.
That's our idea.
That's the original.
That's not what pirates do.
That's what we.
The word pirate, it means
Alex,
doing it.
we live in a post-truth era, so we can say whatever we want. If we say we're not conviction, it's true.
Well, okay, it's kind of in the post-truth pirates. Anyway, eventually you got a regular spot at the Cavern. You were at the house band for 5 years. How do you do that? And what does playing every week for 5 years in front of a live audience do to you as a band? Mike, tell us about it.
Got quite depressing, didn't it?
Well, I wasn't there, so I can't really tell you about it. I didn't join until after the Cavern. So.
Mike used to walk in and watch us, and he put earplugs in, so it made you deaf.
He was waiting until you got enough polish to be worthy of his tongue.
Yeah, no, Mike joined. We got picked up by kids with guitars and taken to America. Mike
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry, Jesus.
Sorry,
we
It's exciting. We'll get to it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mike joined.
Joined after. Okay, Mike, please don't tell us about the Cavern. Okay. What does that do? A lot of bands these days don't get that kind of apprenticeship. Was it an apprenticeship? Was it a way of kind of polishing your skills and learning how to perform?
Yeah, because we were there every week, and it was always packed, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we were busking originally. We got it through busking, really. We were busking. A friend of ours who lived on the estate in where we lived, by Mike, and it said, I can get ease security on the car park. And he said, I'll get you a gig. So, yeah, that's what. And it was easy to get other kids around Liverpool and the world. We've done loads of people in the world off the back of that by saying, we play the Cavern.
It's a club that people have heard about around the world, haven't they? It's kind of an amazing calling card.
Yeah.
But is the audience mainly foreign tourists?
A lot of foreign tourists, a lot of tourists, but mixture really. There'd be regulars that came in. We were really loud then, that was insanely loud. My tinnitus went to another level then. An orchestra playing at the night.
And with that low ceiling, that's going to be
it was bad, yeah. So we were way too loud. Mike remembers coming, don't you?
So you trained Mike. So you want to talk? You were putting stuff up on YouTube, like many bands do, and then you got a call from a very interesting person from America.
Well, we were in the Cavern, and I walked outside, and we had a video that we'd done a few weeks before, and it had something like 35,000 views on it, and I had loads of comments, and that never happened. We'd had a few comments, people saying, and I commented to someone, where did you see it? And they said, I saw it on the Gibson page, and I was like, that's weird. And then, we got the call.
Yeah, Henry Jesuits.
I'm glad you said that, because I've seen it written down, and I've no idea how to say it. It's like a Scrabble sort of triple score. It's amazing to sound. So they just phoned you out of the blue and said, come on tour with us. Yeah,
they put us over to Las Vegas, which was a nightmare to get to, wasn't it?
Yeah, we missed the connection because Keith was taking ages to get to the. He was like, just calm down, enjoy the trip.
No, that's not why we missed it. He just made that up. He just made
I was burning. I was panicking wanting to get customs. And there was one line for everyone American, 20 lines for the Americans. and we just stood there for ages. And we had taken a bit of time to get to customs, but there's no way we'd have made it anyway.
No, we wouldn't have.
And they sacked you on the spot, I hope.
They pushed us a limo to drive from Los Angeles to Las Vegas overnight.
This lovely African guy driver sort of
Yeah,
drove us
drove us
out
7 hours across the desert.
So we slept and yeah, he drove us all the way from LA, wasn't it? From LA to Las Vegas, which was crazy.
Well, I mean, rock and roll. He must have thought, this is it. We've completely arrived. We are now megastars.
Yeah.
Was it? Is that what it was like? Was it?
No, we played in a little tent, didn't we, in Las Vegas?
Stayed in the tent.
No.
It was quite a fancy tent. And we were off to go see Fleetwood Mac, but we were too tired, weren't we?
Yeah, we met Guns N' Roses, one of Guns N' Roses guitarists, and we
Could've
go
been
to
others.
Fleetwood Mac, but we didn't want to go because we were too tired.
We just
And Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future was there, and he was a bit weird and moody.
I'll tell you what, I mean, cynicism. I mean, I would have killed for that experience. And listen to you, oh, we went to bed, it was really dull, it was really boring. Look, you're in West Kirby now, it's alright, but it's not LA, it comes and goes, isn't it? Look at this! You wasted it!
Yeah.
And then you did like a tour of Europe as part of this Gibson thing, is that right?
Well, we did some gigs in Amsterdam, Germany. We got our deal through playing with Gibson. So basically, we met some guys who worked at Whistleworth, and that's where we signed up with V2 Records.
The record label. Now I want to ask you about this. Now I don't know if anybody's heard of Eddie Kramer, but he was the recording engineer on all of Jimi Hendrix's albums. He also engineered all the Led Zeppelin albums. He produced Carly Simon's first record. He was involved in the Rolling Stones sessions and all sorts. He was a huge fan. He offered to produce your album, and he turned him down. What were you thinking?
We haven't got £50,000.
You've got to think creatively.
We tried to. I tried everything in my power to raise £50,000. It wasn't happening.
We did a Kickstarter, then we did the Kickstarter thing, but it didn't.
Yeah, no, he was lovely. It was obviously
He was.
It was great to meet him, but he just got it because he was in America. And he wanted to mix it in America, and the deal was in Europe. It just wasn't
He
happening.
was deaf anyway, so.
I know, but if you had his name on it, that would have been worth.
Yeah, it would have been
And he
alright.
had Led Zeppelin Tourette's as well. Everything was the Led Zeppelin story.
That's a great photos, isn't it?
Yeah, you never get through anything because of the when Led Zeppelin, when Free, when Kiss.
He was nice though, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, who would want to hear about Led Zeppelin sessions and working in some of the greatest records of all time? You two, you just Mike. Come on, what did you think about it? Did you think Eddie Kramer? Yeah, that might be quite a good move.
He's even more cynical than us.
He is. I'm sarcastic.
Eddie was great, but yeah, we just couldn't financially sort it out at that time for Eddie to fly first class over to Liverpool.
But I mean, what's interesting is you actually now do pretty much all the producing and arranging and everything on the record. So I think you probably manoeuvred it in that way. Get Eddie Kramer out of the picture, get yourself into the boss seat, and look at you now.
Yeah, exactly. Made it. Yeah. But no, it worked out. So yeah, we basically did it ourselves, and yeah.
That's how.
Now, I don't want to bring everybody down, but mental health is something that's quite an important aspect to your journey, guys, and the way that music can be used to be therapeutic in that way. And you've both had your challenges with mental health, as many of us have.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, during the accident, I had terrible PTSD issues, struggled with trauma and stuff after we lost our father when we were quite young. It affected him quite deeply, didn't it? Because he was away at the time, and I think, it was. I think he felt like there maybe he could have done something, but obviously that's not the case. But yeah, it was a heavy time, and I think. Yes, Stu's. You should talk.
Well, all the cliches really. My dad died, and then I got bullied because I was fat. And I started taking drugs, lots and lots of drugs from about the age of probably 13 to try and fit in and try and, smooth over that sort of angularness of my personality. And I mean, sort of recently, over the last few years, I've got help, and it's come to light that I've got bipolar. So I had a breakdown during the pandemic, left the band for a couple of years because I just couldn't leave the house, became very ill. But I think I'd always self-medicate with drugs and alcohol. So I've been in rehab. I'd abuse drugs, I'd smoke weed habitually, but don't do any of that anymore. So I'm just taking meds now. And the therapy, I do something called EMDR, which is sort of trauma processing. So it's where you sort of almost like meditate on the trauma and with a guided sort of psychologist taking you through and using safe spaces and things like that. So that's helped a lot. Initially the diagnosis was a little bit like jarring, like bipolar, it's all the labels come off, but I think I had so many breakdowns and psychotic episodes and drug abuse that it was, I think it sort of explained a lot of that. I mean, both our entire family have problems with mental health, so...
We're all bonkers, our family.
How important is it, for you to have, this creative outlet of a band?
Well, yeah, when I wasn't playing, because obviously I stopped playing and the guys carried on, and I just couldn't leave the house. So I think I spoke to Mike initially, and he was saying we should come and do some gigs, and then I spoke to Keith, and he said, come back, because I just shut everyone out. I just literally cut everyone off. I spoke to my wife and my son and my mum, and that was it. So I think once it was all gone, I stripped it right back to base level, and then realised how important it was. And people come up with gigs and they say, because I talked a bit about it online, and they say, it sort of helped me, or so there's that. It's a cliche, but it's similar to what Keith has done. He has people who've had accidents or limb deficiencies, and they've come up and they've said, I'm going to start playing guitar again. Soldiers and all kind of people who had industrial accidents. He teaches people now, so it is
got
like
a few one-armed students now.
Yeah, he's got people one-armed school.
One of them flies planes. He's
Really?
60 years old. He's starting to learn to fly. He's doing amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, from Chester.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So so music's just been a therapy for us. Yeah. It's been like a saving grace. It's a way to express yourself and help people feel something. For including ourselves. So it's that's how we treated it, really, wasn't it? We didn't really think of it that way, but after a while you start to realise, it is.
And let's just talk about songwriting just briefly before we get back on to the second set. How do you write the songs? I think people are fascinated by how you originate songs. There's lots of songs around, and you come up with an original song, and then how you work it through as a band.
It changes all the time, but more recently we've just written together, haven't we? We've just brought ideas together, and things will just happen in the room. And before that, maybe one of us had written an idea and brought it to the table, and then other times there were songs were pretty much done.
I think
So you kind of
the first album we had a backlog of songs, didn't you? That we took. They were more or less finished. You'd been playing them and stuff, and we took them and kind of rearranged them with the band, and there was a lot of material there.
Yeah, so 11 was the first album, is that right?
Yeah, 11.
And then I think the next album and the stuff that we're working on now has been more of kind of mainly the three of us kind of bringing stuff in and then working on it in the rehearsal room, the three of us to start with, and then with the band, and kind of forming it that way. So it changes. People bring bits in and stick bits together, and
And the second album was recorded at Parr Street in Liverpool, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah. Parr Street.
Which is no more. It's closed, hasn't it?
It closed down, unfortunately. Yeah, it's very sad.
Demolished inside.
Studio 2 as well, shut down, which was a cool little bar.
Yes, I went there. And so you're going to do home recording now?
Well, Mike has a lot of amazing musical recording gear.
We've done an EP that we've been kind of we've been
We took that to Nashville, didn't we? We used that for...
Nashville?
Yeah, we went to Nashville and we played some gigs out in Nashville, yeah, and then we took this EP just to play to
kind of EP demo to show people what we're looking at doing for the next album. And then we're probably going to do it in a studio, but we're talking to a few people, aren't we?
Okay, so you've got the Order Out of Chaos is the album from 2022, which is out now, and so the next thing is this EP that could develop into an album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be an album. We've got two producers who are quite top producers, aren't
But
they?
a lot cheaper than Eddie
A
Crane.
little bit cheaper, yeah.
Oh, that was good. Not as many good anecdotes about Led Zeppelin. But, you know, you hate that anyway, don't you?
It makes good tea, though.
Yeah, Eddie Grammy made good
Does it
tea.
make a good tea?
Really?
He made his cup of tea.
It's very impressive.
Made a point of
For the
that's how he
American.
makes his tea.
Yeah.
He showed us his six-pack.
Oh, so you're not talking about beer?
I showed you mine before.
He did show me. I had to ask him about his injury, and he just started showing me his scars and that. I felt very awkward.
Yeah. Which I
But
liked.
I'm going to get some counselling about it. Anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Go away and make yourself ready for the triumphant second set of the evening. If you'd like to go and avail yourself of the facilities, the bar, the lavatories, whatever you want to do, I will be back here in about 10 minutes. Thank you. Cheers, guys.